It's a hive of activity at KwaKhangelamankengane Royal Palace in Nongoma this weekend. Two main ceremonies are taking place ahead of King Misuzulu Kazwelithini's coronation. A ritual hunt and cleansing ceremony will be taking place, and the king will enter the kraal. To talk to us about the significance of this, our senior reporter Siphamandla Goge joins us from Nongoma. Welcome, Sipa. Tell us why this weekend's ceremonies matter.
They matter simply because they signal the fact that once the Zulu royal family members are done with these two key ceremonies, then you can start talking about the issue of the government-led public event, which is the coronation. Of course, the government will be working with the Zulu royal family when it comes to coronating King Misuzulu Kazwelithini. As we speak right now, what is happening at the palace is that there is a slaughtering that is taking place in preparation for this weekend. So on Saturday, this is what is going to happen. You will have a ritual hunt, which is known as Zulu as Ukpuminqina, where the king will lead members of the royal family and a selected group of Amabuto, where they will go out and hunt, come back with their kill, present them here at the palace. And then after that, on Sunday, there will be the public event whereby, of course, community members and other people will be able to come to the palace. There is a cleansing ceremony known as Ihlambo. You know, this signals the fact that the mourning period for AmaZulu royal family members is over following the demise of King Zwelithini Kabhekuzulu. So those are the two key ceremonies, and also the king is expected to enter the kraal. Why does that matter? It matters simply because he cannot be coronated without going through that traditional and cultural process of entering the kraal. Even though the public coronation has not been confirmed yet, that is the date, but at some point the king will need to enter the kraal, especially as the head of the family who will be leading these two key ceremonies, that is the ritual hunt as well as Ihlambo, the cleansing ceremony. And then right now, what is happening at the palace is that we await the arrival of the king, who will have to come here and oversee the preparations, the logistics, before tomorrow morning he can lead a team of AmaZulu royal family members that will accompany him to go for that hunting. We are joined by Inyosi Mdletshe, who is the king's praise singer. Ngomane siyathokoza ngesikhathi sakho. Ukubaleka kwale micimbi ezobe yenzeke eNdlunkulu, ukubaleke ngani ngokwesiko nokuthi kusho ukuthini kuyona iNdlunkulu neSilo namaZulu.
Umfoka Goge nabo bonke ohamba nabo nesizwe sonke sase South Africa nje, ngoba phela njengoZulu nathi sakhelene nezinye izizwe eziningi. Ngakho ke uma umuntu ePaula kubalekile ukuthi isizwe sonke nje esikulalele kube ngokubalekile. Cha, ngicabanga ukuthi namhlanje kithi njengoZulu oqonda umgomo wesiko nendlela yonke yokuhamba kwesiko, sazi ukuthi namhlanje ihlambo elikhulu lengonyama elisho ukuthi ingonyama iyahlanjululwa namuhla. Siyazi ke ukuthi mhlawumbe isizwe sesiyogcina sidideka, njengoba kukhona abathi ihlambo balenza ngonyaka odlule, asiphikisani ke nabo, kodwa engikwaziyo ukuthi ihlambo eloqala kusuke kuthiwa ngelezagile, lapho kusuke kukhunyulwa khona ichibi elenziwa mhlambe kungakedlule enyangeni eziyisithupha. Kodwa ihlambo langempela elikhulu la noma ubani, ngingakhuluma ngonyama, lenziwa emva konyaka, bese kuthiwa kukhishwa ihlambo lengonyama, kukhishwa izikhali zengonyama, osekuyihlambo lemkhonto, okuyilona ke ihlambo elenziwa namhlanje lapha esigodlweni kwaKhangela. Futhi ke kuyaye kunakwe ukuthi noma ngabe yindoda nje, kodwa lowo usuke kwazi ukuthi uyena oyinkosana, kuba uyena owenza ihlambo, ozophuma nezikhali, kube nguye ohamba phambili eholeni ibutho kanye nesizwe. Ngakho ke silapha esigodlweni kwaKhangela, lapha esiqonda kahle kamhlophe khona ukuthi kwahlala khona umntana enkosi owaganisilo waba ngwesithathu vele usohlangothini, kodwa ngobukhulu bakhe bokuzalwa kwaphoqa vele ukuthi akekho umnyongo bekuthiwe ungaphezulu kwakho. Ngakho silapha nje singadidekile, sivunyelwa isiko, sivunyelwa umlando. cabanga ukuthi ke usuku lwakusasa nje ba ephuma inqina ekhipha ihlambo seyibulewe impahla ezisho ukuthi iyahlanjulula ingonyama kukhishwa ihlambo ukuphuma kwenqina kakusiyinqina nje yokuyozingela kodwa ngezalwa ihlambo ngoba inqina yehlambo ukuthi ke manje siphumele yabuya lezo inyamazana eseziyohlanganiswa ke nezimpahla lezo bese kuba ihlambo ke liphelele kodwa nje ihlambo yilo leli lalezi impahla eseyibulawe namuhla.
Msindazo kubalekile lokho abanye abantu bazothi ngokwesintu ukuze kuqhutshekwe kube khona ukuthi kukhona lento ebizwa ngecoronation ngokwesilungu kubalekile ukudlula kulezi igaba okuyosho ukuthi ke kungekudala ke indlunkulu ngokubonisana nohulumeni seboyikhuluma ke indaba yokuthi ke kugcotshwa nini.
Impela kunjalo futhi ke kufanele isizwe sihlale siqonde ukuthi kwakhona ukugcotshwa kusayoba kubili sayoba khona lokho kwesiko lokungena esibayeni esingakakwazi ukuthi kwenzeka nini mhlawumbe nakusasa ngenzeka naphambi kokusasa ngaya ukuthi kubukwe kanjani bese kuba khona lokho ke ukuthi isiyokwemukela incwadi esizweni ngonyama ucetshwayo njengoba kuthiwa nje abantu bangangozulu emakheni ngalelo langa yayisibekiwe ngonyama ngokwesiko kodwa kwasethi amangisi nawo ngoba ayefisile ukuthi kwawona azoyigcoba ngokwawo kwase kuba lapho ke sekusesidlangalaleni sabo bonke abantu emakheni kulezi yankalo ezisemakhosini.
Basikhuleke Msindazo.
Wena wendlovu bayede.
Inyosubuze Jenny Mdleje, who's the King's Praise singer, they're explaining to us the significance of what is happening this weekend. He says these two key ceremonies are mainly about the king's ritual hunt, which is known as Uphumi, as well as the cleansing ceremony, Ihlambo. He says the issue of the king entering the kraal, which in a way technically is regarded as the traditional coronation, if we can put it like that, at this stage, it's expected to happen. He says we may never know. Maybe it will happen tomorrow or it will happen on Sunday. But before the government-led public coronation, that is the public event, the king has to undertake that process of entering the kraal, which is, I think, about 600 kilometers on my left. It's too dark now. It's too dark now, you won't be able to see it, but the king will enter that kraal, and when he emerges out of that, he will have to be given his late father's traditional weapons, and there is a very important stick there, which is known as Intlendla. That is the stick which is Intlendla Yenkosi, which is the king's stick. So when he emerges out of that kraal, whether tomorrow or Sunday, if it happens this weekend, he will be given that, signaling that he is now a fully fledged Amazulu king whose family on the throne.
Siphamandla, tell us about the ongoing divisions in the family, these important ceremonial events happening despite those divisions, but is there likely to be any challenge to the events taking place this weekend?
We have not heard of any potential legal challenge, challenging these ceremonies this weekend. However, yesterday there was a media briefing by unhappy members of Amazulu royal family. Those are the siblings of the late King Zwelithini Kabheka Zulu. I'm talking about Prince Mbonisi, Prince Matuba, and Prince Vulindlela. They say they've been closed out in terms of all logistics and preparations for any traditional ceremony that is taking place at the Zulu royal household, and they say they are the core members of the royal family. They should be regarded as the ruling family because they are the king's children and they are the late king's siblings. So therefore, they are the ones who should preside over everything. They say now that they've been in a way muzzled out, they are unable to perform those traditional rituals, and therefore nothing can continue without them. They have accused the Amazulu traditional Prime Minister Prince Mangosuthu Buthelezi of being the one responsible for divisions when it comes to the royal family, an allegation that Prince Mangosuthu Buthelezi has repeatedly denied, saying he's following the king's wishes and instructions that he should communicate to the nation what will be done, when and how. So yes, these traditional ceremonies are taking place this weekend. However, the other side of Amazulu royal family, which is unhappy about King Misuzulu ascending to the throne, say these ceremonies are just a comic because last year they performed the very same ceremonies. So they are saying what is happening here will not matter because these ceremonies have already been done. But Inyosi here, the praise singer of the king, saying, well, it can only be the king as the head of the family that can lead such ceremonies. So in the absence of the king for those previous ceremonies that were presented or that were performed, they are null and void. The only thing that matters is this weekend's traditional ceremonies. So divisions are still there within AmaZulu royal family. As we speak, there are ongoing court cases that will take time to resolve. Some members are challenging President Cyril Ramaphosa's decision to recognize King Misuzulu as the rightful heir to the throne of AmaZulu, and they are also applying for leave to appeal the Pietermaritzburg High Court's judgment that King Misuzulu is the right one who should inherit the throne.
Siphamandla, quickly before I let you go, any word from government or the royal household about when the coronation is expected to take place?
Not that we know of. In terms of the royal protocol and the way things have been done in the past, is that Prince Mangosuthu Buthelezi, as the traditional prime minister of the king and AmaZulu as a nation, is the one who will communicate to the nation once the king has instructed him to brief the nation about the coronation date. As we speak, there is no official confirmation. There is nothing that has been communicated by the prime minister of the nation, who should be given the mandate by the king himself. So we do not know when the coronation will be. Remember, it was postponed. I think it was set to be held around the 28th of May, but due to the devastating floods in KwaZulu-Natal, the king himself said no, it will not be advisable to celebrate while the nation is still in mourning. So the king postponed his coronation. Maybe the date will be communicated soon, because we understand that the king is eager to have the coronation as soon as possible. But having these key ceremonies signals the fact that the coronation is imminent. When is it going to be? We do not know. Will it be towards mid-August or towards the end of August? We do not know. But there are talks that after these ceremonies, then you can talk about another traditional event, because there are 3 traditional ceremonies that need to be performed before you go to the public event, which is the coronation, which will be led by the royal house and the government. So now that part 1 is done, which is happening this weekend, there is another outstanding traditional ceremony that will have to be performed by the king before coronation can take place. So we'll get an indication probably by the end of this weekend as to when the coronation is going to be.
Excellent. Thank you so much, our senior reporter Siphamandla Goge.